Hello everybody and welcome to another series here on KhaldorTV. We have our next game in the End of the Storm match and we are in the loser bracket still. We're currently seeing NaVi go up against TeamLiquid, so an absolutely amazing game. Two great teams that clash against each other here, and both of them are trying to reach the next round where Roccat is already waiting. Roccat was able to take down Virtus.pro and is now waiting for their next opponent. You can check out the bracket in the YouTube description if you're not familiar with it just yet, but spoiler alert, the entire bracket is of course filled, so if you don't know the rest of the results you should probably just wait with that a bit longer. But well, for now we're having TeamLiquid going up against NaVi, and our first map today is Cursed Hollow, where we are seeing especially NaVi going again into Reyna. So they use Reyna in this case, and they also are using Zagara to really put pressure on TeamLiquid, whereas TeamLiquid is more relying on Zebo and Vala for the damage in their setup. Both of these teams have of course played against each other countless of times. They've been scrimming with each other, and they have been for the longest time the best two teams in Europe, and maybe even still are. So right now we're going to find out which of them is going to take the lead in the series here. TeamLiquid of course already losing early on in the winner bracket here at the end of the storm, and the same is true for NaVi, who actually they kind of failed against Alternate Fancy already. They lost in the first round of the winner bracket and therefore dropped down to the loser bracket, where they now are facing a very tough opponent. First map is coming up right now here at the end of the storm loser bracket, ladies and gentlemen, between Liquid and NaVi. TeamLiquid versus NaVi in the loser bracket of the Enter the Storm. It's the final day, and this is also the final chance for both of these teams to make their way through the loser bracket and have another shot at the tournament victory. To the left side of the map, the Spaniards with Vortex on Vala, TeamLiquid playing Lucifron on Muradin, Black Scorp on Leoric, we have Falcon on Azebo and Gran Paquete on Rega. To the right side of the map, on the other hand, NaVi with Splendor on Uther here in Cursed Hollow, Shrimpy on Johanna, we're seeing Alex the Pro G on Arthurs, JPL on Zagara, and Eternal is rocking Jimmy. Jimmy is in here, and boys, this is going to be fun. These two teams, they have clashed against each other over and over again, and lately NaVi oftentimes has gotten the better of TeamLiquid, but of course the Spaniards are still the team with by far the most tournament victories on the European server, and they are playing an amazing Heroes of the Storm. At the same time though, they find themselves in the loser bracket, as does NaVi, so both of these teams, they have to prove something here. We're seeing as the level 1 talents, no real big surprises just yet. Seasoned Marksman was to be expected for Eternal on Reyna, and they are starting to push the top lane back. He could even start to rotate and try to soak 2 lanes. Corpse Feeder for Zagara, and Zagara is in trouble. JPL, wow, that was a quick kill here. 40 seconds into the game, Lucifron just jumping in and hammering Zagara into the ground with the help of Vortex and Gran Paquete. The first kill here for them. They're not going to lose out on experience, but of course every single second that Zagara is not on lane is some time that you lose to push these lanes back. Eternal eating quite a bit of damage, and so does Splendor. TeamLiquid hyper aggressive here up at the top lane with that tri-lane that they established. Shrimpy and Black Scorp are currently fighting it out in the mid lane, and looking down to the bot lane we have Nazebo, played by Falcon, playing against Alex the Pro G. As we have a quick pause in the game, we can have another look at that top lane here again. So you can see that both of the teams are running a healer here. Normally on a tri lane you will always see a healer, so that you can actually like have a bit more lane sustain. In this case of course JPL is going to try and establish a creep spread that helps him to also have that additional heal. Their Constitution was by the way not taken though, so he doesn't have that. They are just going into Corpse Feeder, which should help him to just push these lanes back even a bit faster than that. Besides that, it's of course normally for Johanna still Night Take spawn. Very, very rarely are we seeing adjustments on the level 1 talent for her. It's just too good. Conjurer's Pursuit has been taken now for not only Uther. Well, actually, yeah, it's only Uther. Only Uther with the Conjurer's Pursuit. We're having Siphoning Arrow taken, Reverberation, Reanimation, Death Ritual, and the Spirit Walker's Grace on the side of TeamLiquid. And up at the top lane, I mean, these 6 heroes, these 6 players are really at each other's throat. Always that threat of being locked down by Lucifron with a Stormbolt. And NaVi is relying more on heavy damage here, and especially Eternal is of course just trying to get a few kills in there and maybe even just like take those creeps so that he can get the minion stacks for the extra damage. So this is going to be a fun one. Really fun game. It's only the first map of potentially 3 that we're going to see between these two teams. Of course, the Q build still being progressed here. We have now also Puncturing Arrow taken. No real big surprises here on level 4. Feral Heart for the lane sustain of Rhaegar. Spider Cluster is an important talent on the Zebo in general. I can't even remember when I've seen the last time a Zebo player go for a different level 4 talent. You have a few variations on level 7, but level 4 is usually pretty standard. We see for Uther now no Boundless Conviction, which has become very popular with heroes, well, with a lot of players. But instead it's the Divine Shield. And everybody is starting to rotate down for Tribute number 1, except for Zagara and Vala, who are still holding the top lane. Especially Vala, of course, is kind of locked down there. You can't simply move away when there's a Zagara pushing down your lane. You're just going to lose way too much lane presence. Nice lockdown against Falcon. And he gets away for now, but has already taken a lot of damage here. Lucifron is moving in again, and they're trying to go for a kill against Shrimpy, but Johanna is moving away. Eternal still with a bit more pressure against Blackscorp, pushing him back and actually delivering a lot of damage. Gran Paquete is attempting to channel the tribute, but Splendor is there and makes sure that that doesn't happen just yet. So they're still fighting over it, but Gran Paquete is being helped out by 2 of his allies. Nice zoning here from Blackscorp and Lucifron, pushing the opponents back. And now Splendor is extremely low and has to actually be back and get mana and hit points. So right now both of the teams on level 6, pretty much the same amount of experience that we see for them. Focus attack on level 4 is helping Reyna out with the extra damage, but we have the first tribute in the hands of Team Liquid. Spaniards are playing this pretty solid. Eternal can now rotate again if he really wanted to catch a few more waves on other lanes. For now, he's just like trying to get as many extra damage points as he can. But up at the top lane, JPL is again in trouble. He died already once, and this is going to be death number 2. Even with the shield of Splendor and the heal, was not able to keep Zagara alive. We have also now a repeating arrow taken for Vala. The Toad build actually coming in for Nazebo with the Toad affinity as the level 7 talent. Lingering Apparition after the Hardened Bones, so it's going to be the build on Leoric that allows him to just like stay on lane forever. With Zagara going into Rapid Incubation for extra heals and mana regeneration, Battle Momentum taken, and Revolution Overdrive for Reyna as Arthas goes into Rune Tap, which is actually going to help him to take camps pretty much solo if he wanted to. So we have up at the top, again, that big fight with Vortix moving in. Lucifron with the Divine Shield, oh, well, sorry, not the Divine Shield, but Lightning Shield, is actually making sure that he can also push these back a bit. We have level 7 versus level 7 now, and both of them about to hit level 8 with another Tribute spawning there. Nazebo is still moving to the bot lane, though, where we can still see Arthas, and Arthas is moving over, but Nazebo has to soak the wave. Has to soak the experience. This could actually end up with Na'Vi taking this tribute up here. Nazebo is just pushing the bot lane, so this is easily going to be turned into an advantageous position for Na'Vi. And they're already pressuring Gran Paquete and Lucifron here. In the mid lane, we still see Leoric, and it looks like Arthas is actually trying to get 2 lanes soaked, mid lane and bot lane. Up to the top now, Shrimpy, Eternal and Splendor still attempting to get that tribute, but Blackscorp is here. He rotated over from the mid lane, and they're going straight for a potential kill against Eternal, who's really low, and he gets dropped, pushed to the corner with his back. No chance for him to actually escape here. With the back to the wall, quite literally, no escape for him, and unbelievable. Lucifron is alive, at least for now, but Shrimpy delivers the kill with Ignore Condemn shortly after. Zagara, on the other hand, died now too, so it's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Team Liquid. 4 kills against 1 overall, and guess who was still at the bot lane the entire time? Alex the Pro G. So Na'Vi not really fighting in full strength for this one, but they get a bit more experience thanks to all these moves, and can now also start pushing the bot lane, which Alex is doing right now. The problem, of course, for them is that they didn't really secure an experience lead through all of this, but they lost now 2 tributes, and that means they have to fight for the next one, right? If they don't want to accept the curse, then the next tribute is where they have to make their stand. And so far, it hasn't really worked out for them. So, level 10 hits for Team Liquid. They have now Avatar. We have also March of the Black King. Ravenous Spirit, as predicted earlier during the draft phase, is the talent that they choose here. There are a couple of heroes that can interrupt the Ravenous Spirit, but if you place yourself properly, if you have good positioning, it should not happen. There's only the Maw that can make it happen from a huge distance. Reyna, of course, can also try and use his Q, but he has to get pretty close for that. Falcon is being attacked down here, but Alex trapped in the wall of zombies. Nice move by Falcon, and of course it's also an ancestral healing here. talking about the rest of the talents, we already saw at the top lane a Divine Shield being used by Uther. He had to save somebody here. We have Zagara with Amor, apparently another talent that they had to use during these fights. Still no kills though. Hyperion, as already assumed, thanks to the tribute control, it's a great talent to take on this map, and the Army of the Dead plus Blessed Shield. And for now, it looks like most of the heroic abilities that are missing for Navi are going to leave them in a really awkward spot. They're not even going to try to go for the tribute, they're just trying to stall it out and take the boss in the meantime. It's actually a smart play, since with all those heroic abilities in cooldown, they already realized that they won't be able to fight or win this one at least, and losing a few heroes and then getting cursed would have been even worse. So they take the boss instead, they establish a bit of a position up at the top lane, but TeamLiquid doesn't even get bothered about this. They're just moving in at the bottom lane and just saying like, alright boys, we're going to take your keep here, or we're going to take your fort. They might even threaten the keep, depending on what exactly happens up at the top. And that's where we're seeing JPL pushing together with the boss. So Zagara is pushing this even in further. Down there, Arthas was attempting to get the Siege Giants, but now that TeamLiquid is threatening the wall at the keep, they have to rotate over. Here comes the Hyperion already. They put it in and they're trying to flank. Zagara is shortly going to be with them, but not just yet. Here comes JPL from the back. He has his heroic not up yet. Another 10 seconds and still until Moore is back, but Divine Shield is ready, so they can move in. Strafe already used by TeamLiquid, and they are delivering a lot of damage. Luciphone is extremely low, but should be able to jump away if the shit hits the fan. And again, Leoric with the March of the Black King, but he gets taken down, and now both of the tanks are dead. Johanna and Leoric. Kill on each one of the teams. The boss went through the top lane and took down of the first fort already, so we're having level 13 hit for both of them very soon. Navi still stays close in experience. They're making sure that they're not gonna lose any kind of opportunity to just get the experience back here. It was actually a very smart move by them. The only thing, I mean, what else could they have done? Try and fight for the third tribute, and then if they lose out on the fight, they're gonna get cursed and they're gonna lose way too much. It was pretty smart that they actually didn't do it here. So we have, as the level 13 talents now, a Giant Killer for both of the auto attack heroes. Vala, of course, going more into a Q build, but still with Giant Killer she can deliver quite some solid damage. We're having Reyna now on level 13, also taking the same talent, Biting Cold for Arthas, for additional damage as well. And in this case, it is now the Burning Rage that has been taken for Johanna. Johanna, by the way, already down to the bot lane, where the boss is still in play. After Toad Affinity on level 7, we have Toads of Hugeness now taken, and another Burning Rage for Leoric. So both of the teams running with one Burning Rage on their tanks, which is going to help them to just like push these waves back even further and deliver some damage during the battle itself. So pretty decent moves there, and the mid lane is currently being pushed by 5 heroes. Ah, well, TeamLiquid, they have to rotate over and help out with that. Right now they're not doing anything, actually. They are at the bot lane. They were thinking about going for boss, but they couldn't really make that happen. We currently see through the bot lane, still Black Scorp in position here, trying to wait if he has an opportunity to either rotate in or if he can go for boss with the rest of the team, and that's what they're trying to do. And it looks like Navi is actually giving that up. Only Arthas is there, the rest of the team is rotating now. They will arrive in time. The problem is, are they going to arrive in time to save Alex? There's the Divine Shield, that saves him for now. The Army of the Dead already employed, and they are going in with a quick root against Vala once again, who gets immediately cleansed out. Nice stun against Vortex, great. Strafe was used, and Vortex immediately stunned out by the Blessed Shield. Great move on the side of Navi, and they get the kill against Leoric to turn this into a 5 versus 4. But everybody is so low for Navi now. They're attempting to lock down Luciphone. He is in cooldown on his Dwarf Toss. JPL on Zagara, a bit too far out again though, and therefore another kill for TeamLiquid. 6 kills against 3 at this point. Alex the Pro G and the rest of his boys are already moving away up to the top lane. We're seeing another tribute spawning. Would be the first tribute for both of the teams, but the boss, of course, is now getting attacked again. TeamLiquid just saying like, yes, take the tribute, we don't really care, we have a boss and we want to take it. So that's exactly what they do. They take the boss, give up the fort in the mid lane. Oh, well, do they? No, they don't, because, well, there might be a massive wave, but Navi still has to move back. Now, the cool thing for Navi, even though they're losing a lot on these fights right now, they are still in a position where they have at least the opportunity to take the lead in experience. They're not falling behind in experience, which is probably the more important part. They have not lost the keep yet, so as long as they are not losing out on talents, they are going to be alright here. We have, of course, Reyna also just like trying to get more damage thanks to Season Marksman, and currently he's at 22 additional Season Marksman stacks. Nothing really to write home about. Not going to be, hey mama, 10 minutes into the game I was on 22 stacks. She's not going to be very proud of you, but it's solid. It's a solid stack count. Of course, they would like to have a bit more. You can get more on maps where you try to rotate with Reyna. Most of the early game Reyna spent at the top lane in the tri lane. Didn't get the chance to soak also a few more lanes there. If you have a rotation map like, well, let's say Shire, for example, or Tomb of the Spider Queen, you are usually able to get a lot more stacks than that, just because the early game is basically just you running from one lane to another and just soaking these. But for now, we have both of the teams hitting level 16, which is going to add the additional talent, and right now we are seeing now the renewed swing. It's a bit interesting to see the renewed swing here, I want to say. Oftentimes you see that happening when the player goes on level 7 for either the Paralyzing Rage or even into the Ghastly Reach, so that you get a bit more out of that second swing. But in this case it still helps you to just burst the wave down with a double swing, so that's alright. Consume Vitality is a very popular talent on level 16 as well. We have Bullseye taken for Reyna and Tidal Waves now for Rhaegar, which is going to help the Orc to just do a whole lot more when it comes to the healing powers. Leaping Spiders for Nazeebo, of course. The Stone Form for Muradin, and that is making him so difficult to take down. Important is also Benediction. It's still one of the standard talents for the hero. Stone Skin as well, so a lot of survivability here on the side of Team NaVi, but that Bullseye is very, very dangerous. And it's something that they're already going to try and use over here. Already the attack against Leoric, who keeps himself alive, but that's of course a lot of damage that he just ate. And we saw Nazeebo during the entire time down to the bot lane. So the boss up here is something that they could have started, but they didn't just yet. And again, TeamLiquid about to move in, 6 kills against 3 overall thus far. Keep that camp in mind that we have to the bot lane. Eventually it's going to take down the fort the longer this fight lasts, but of course there's a lot on the line. You want to get this boss, and there's also another tribute about to spawn, and when that happens, Navi could end up being cursed again depending on the position. Nazeebo is moving down. He realizes that he has to do something about these siege giants if they don't want to lose that fort. So up at the top lane now we have TeamLiquid moving away a bit. Blackscorp is still dropping the gates here, and it looks like they are going to give up that boss, at least for now. They are already going straight for the kill here. Nazeebo is still at the bot lane, but TeamLiquid is trying to fight this regardless. I'm not sure that they can. Shrimpy is starting to move in from the back, and there is a very, very awkward Hyperion. I have no idea what that Hyperion is doing there. It's just flying the wrong direction. Matt, what are you doing? And up to the top, Alex is rushing away there. Nazeebo is going to be with the team in just a second. The tribute is spawning. Navi cannot lose this fight. Falcon already with the Ravenous Spirit pushing Eternal back, and over here they are still fighting. Arthas is dead. If Navi loses this one, they're going to lose way more than only that. A triple kill. It's going to be a quad kill, isn't it? They are going straight for Shrimpy, and this is boss, and now they can also move down and take that tribute. If they move right away, they should arrive in time. Eternal is trying to steal it away before that happens. He might just barely have enough time to grab it and make sure that his team doesn't get cursed. But it's going to be close. Nope, he's not. He's not going to be able to make it happen. This is going to be a curse against them. Eternal cannot stay here. He's the only one still alive for them, and he has to run away. He has to run and to be, and Vortex might even try and chase him down. Shouldn't chase too hard, because, well, losing the time now would definitely not help them. So they're just saying screw it and move over to help now the boss with a curse to take them on. In that case, really, I don't know what happened with that Hyperion over here, by the way. Like, that flew the complete wrong way. I'm not quite sure if that was really on purpose or if Eternal misclicked there with Reyna, because that didn't work out the way that he intended to. I can tell you that much already. It only attacked one hero, and all for a little bit. Should have just tried to fly up to the top left and cover the whole area around the boss. That would be a bit better. 19 versus 17. That's currently the levels, and one of the keeps. They are going to destroy every single one of them. They are going to destroy every single keep. It's a 5 versus 5 again. Actually, they're not. The boss did not go through the wall completely. We had Navi defeat the boss in time. They might even be able to save the fort at the bot lane. It's going to be a close fight. Well, now level 20 hits, so it should actually end up falling. But Navi is doing everything that they can to make sure that they are saving this. Well, it falls regardless, but now we have a double rewind, double Bolt of the Storm, and a hardened shield, and Navi is still 2 levels behind. TeamLiquid's job is now to not screw it up. That's it in a nutshell. That's TeamLiquid's job now. Not screwing it up. Take the bosses, take every single mercenary camp on the map that they can get their hands on, because there's nothing that Navi can do to contest it. Navi can't move in and try to take them out. They don't have that opportunity because they are missing that level 20 talent. But they have to do something. They are trying. They are trying. I don't really blame them for trying. I mean, they have to do something here. They can't wait for 2 levels while TeamLiquid takes every single camp here. TeamLiquid is being pushed back a little bit. They're still keeping the aggro. No. Oh, the Ravenous Spirit! Oh my god, and look at Arthas. Arthas is about to die. Well, he keeps himself alive with the Divine Shield and the Stone Skin that was applied, but they are now losing out on heroes. Arthas dead, Uther dead, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game. They jump in, take down Reyna, and JPL is going to fall too. The GG already called. NaVi knows exactly what that means. They are down 5 heroes for 40 to 50 seconds. The boss is barreling down the bot lane. 2 of the keeps are lost, and TeamLiquid is just gonna clean house right now. You can see the damage here of the heroes as well. Reyna with still 47,000, which is really, really solid. The stack process for him was going quite well in the end. He had 31 stacks, could be more of course, but still. Problematic was this big fight that we saw at the top boss when they were losing just way too much. So TeamLiquid, they take the lead in the best of 3 series here against NaVi, and now have only to win 1 more map to advance in the loser bracket and face Roccat in the next round. TeamLiquid, they are successful, well played here, especially of course those fights around the boss were really working in their favor, and they take the lead in the best of 3 series. NaVi now with the back to the wall, they decide to go into Tomb of the Spider Queen, and this is a map that we've seen for them already a couple of times, and they actually draft a very similar setup once again. So the entire thought process behind what they're doing here is actually extremely similar to what Alternate Fantasy does. Alternate Fantasy does it with the Sylvanas and the Zagara. In this case, NaVi is drafting a heavy sniper lineup, but the thought process behind it is kind of similar. You're trying to establish an early lead in the game, on this map in particular, where when you hit level 10, your opponent is roughly level 8, level 9, something along those lines. And if you get that set up, then you can just like play with your objective and put so much pressure on your opponent that you are able to take him down. And that is basically what NaVi already showed us in a few games. Personally, I have to admit that when it comes to Tyrande, I'm not really a huge fan of Tyrande plus a single damage dealer if you do not go for a very heavy damage build like Virtus Pro, for example, does on Tyrande. You can do that on Tomb of the Spider Queen, since of course it is a great Season Marksman map and Tyrande has Season Marksman on level 1. But then again, NaVi plays an incredible Tyrande style, and we've already seen her a few times in their setup, and it works very well for them. So they're doing exactly that. A double damage dealer, or sorry, not a double damage dealer, but a double tank at the front line, Tyrande for the lockdown, they have a Malfurion here for the additional roots, Muradin can initiate with a stun, and then we have also Tyrande with a more stun on, of course, Jaina behind all of this, or Kel'Thas in this case, for more damage. If you're looking, on the other hand, at the setup that we're seeing for TeamLiquid, that's also pretty incredible, because what TeamLiquid is aiming for is not really the early game, where NaVi is going to shine with their composition, but they are trying to bring this game into the later stages, where especially a hero, like for example Reyna, is going to do a whole lot of work. We all know how strong Reyna can be on any given map, but if you play on Tomb of the Spider Queen and you go for a Season Marksman build, the amount of damage that you get at the later stage of the game, especially after level 20 when you hit Nexus Frenzy, is incredible, and you can just melt tanks away. It's insane. And this is exactly what TeamLiquid is going to try and do here. They have a very solid setup. They have a Jaina in addition to what Reyna can bring to the table here, an Uther to keep them alive, and their whole idea has to be stay alive, don't lose too many heroes in the early game. Let's be fair, against the setup that NaVi has, you will lose a couple of heroes. You will fall a little bit behind. You have to probably give up on the 2 turn-in spots at the beginning of the game because your opponent is just like so strong. But once the level 10s hit, and once you get a bit momentum, especially of course then later on when you head into level 13, 16, then you should be able to get quite a bit of damage out with Reyna already, since he had time to build up those Season Marksman stats. You can take the fight to your opponent, and that is what Liquid is aiming for. Staying alive in the early game and then dominating the late game. If they can pull that off, that's something that we're going to find out together now on map number 2 between TeamLiquid and NaVi. The second game, ladies and gentlemen, between TeamLiquid and NaVi. Game number 2 in the series, and the Spaniards, they are in the lead. So at this point we have Tyrande played also as a hero again for NaVi, which means that they are going to rely on a sniper composition with the Muradin support for the original Stormbolt here, of course. That's the setup that they're trying to use to take TeamLiquid down. To the right side of the map we have Muradin on Eternal for NaVi, Splendor on Malfurion, Tyrande played by Shrimpy, JPL on Kelthas, and Alex the Pro G is getting played or plays Johanna. To the left side of the map, it's Vortex on Jaina, Lucifron on Anubarak, Gran Paquete on Uther, Black Scorp on Arthurs, and Falcon playing Reyna for the seasoned marksman play. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about at this point. So, first of all, look at the talents that we have on level 1 here for Team Liquid. A double Conjurer's Pursuit and one seasoned marksman and 2 Regeneration Master. All of those really relying heavily on, of course, stacks on either the minions or on the thingies. Not the minions, but the globes, regeneration globes, exactly. So in this case, that's exactly what they're trying to do. At the same time, now we're having no season marksman build on Tyrande. I'm mentioning it because this is something that Virtus Pro makes sure they do when they are playing her with a double warrior setup, since she is usually lacking a bit of damage. So the problem with the build of heroes or with the lineup that NaVi has right now that they're playing is that in the later stage of the game they're going to lose out on quite some damage. They can go into a hybrid build right now with the level 1 Ranger's Mark talent. Then on level 4, go into Pierce, for example, and try to just use that with Ranger later on level 16 to get some damage out. The problem with that is that at the end of the game you will have decent damage on Tyrande when you look at the scoreboard, but the big issue with it is that it's just like damage over time. So the problem there is going to be that it's not the targeted damage during a team fight that you really need to drop somebody, but it's more like damage that tickles in over the duration of the game because you're hitting those random owls every time and try, for example, to just lock somebody out or like stop somebody from a turn in. So in the early game, the composition that NaVi plays should be superior just because they are the ones to rotate between the mid lane and the top lane. That also is going to screw a bit with the stacking process that we're going to see on the side of Reyna. Falcon, because of that, has been positioned down at the bot lane. Normally you would see him as part of the composition that moves between mid and top, but in this case, since he's one of the heroes that has no escape and cannot really escape stun train, they set him up down to the bot lane and play like this. And there is already that exact chain that we've been talking about. Gran Paquete extremely low but escapes, and that's all that Team Liquid has to do for now. Play it safe, make sure that they don't lose too many heroes. If you're going up against the Muradin Tyrande composition, then usually you know exactly that it's going to be an issue and that you're losing a few of the heroes. But in this particular case right now, Team Liquid, at least thus far, has been playing this quite well. Level 4 to level 10 is probably going to be the time when they are the most endangered here. We have, as expected, Pierce taken on level 4, and I have seen a lot of teams actually try to play this particular composition with a double warrior setup, and as I said before, personally I'm not a fan. There's a few teams who really try and do that. By the way, Falcon, as I said, has no escape, and he is currently... Oh, he shows himself! He could have walked to the left, and he does. Escapes as the rest of Team Liquid is starting to move down to the bot lane. Job well done here. Okay, once again, Jaina, she is dropped, and that's the first kill in the game. A slight lead in experience now for Team NaVi. But as I said, I'm not really a fan of the composition that is being played by NaVi now. Not the heroes per se, but that double warrior Tyrande combo that they are playing. The advantages are there, and I mean, this is exactly what I've been talking about. The early game is yours. You will be the team that makes the impression in the early game. The only question is really, can you carry that into the late game? Because later on, Tyrande is going to be a liability. She has not the damage during a team fight that you need, and she also is lacking a lot of survivability. But if you dominate the early game, and on a map like this, it can be quite strong if you get those web weavers coming, then you can make an impression. But I'm therefore extremely curious to see how exactly they're going to play it here. NaVi, they really like to play this, and especially when we are looking at the mid lane right now, Schwimpy has said that he believes that she is extremely good in this setup, and I talked a little bit about him, about the entire thing, and just mentioned that I have not seen any teams do really well with her, and he just answered right away and said like, yeah, that's because all other Tyrande players are trash. So he has a chance to actually prove that she is great in this setup. But in the late game, I really want to see how he's going to be able to deal with it. If, of course, NaVi, up to the late game, is able to really secure themselves such a big lead that they don't even have to fear Team Liquid's composition there, then it's a different story. And Falcon! No way! Reyna is taken apart here. Ah, well, that's the stuff where you have to be careful. You are behind the wall, but you are not necessarily safe. And so far, Team Liquid is really starting to lose too many heroes in the early game here. They are losing out on those web weavers. They are nearly a level behind. So far, that combo that's being played by NaVi is really working out. And that has to worry Team Liquid now a bit. They did really well at the beginning of the game where they didn't lose a single hero, but as I said, the time between level 4 and level 10 is the most dangerous for Team Liquid, and they are currently paying the price here. We have, when it comes to the talents, now on level 7 Iceland's taken. Snowstorm was of course expected as a talent. It's also one of the reasons why Conjurer's Pursuit has been taken on level 1 to make up for the lack of Arcane Intellect, so that you don't have any problems with mana regeneration here. Vortex is jumped down here at the bot lane and eliminated. That's 18 gems that they lose, and that is just too much that they get here. Team Liquid is too far out right now. You have to play extremely, well, you have to play extremely careful against a comp like this, and currently they're not necessarily doing that. They lost already quite a lot, they're a level behind. Here comes Eternal, is trying to take the camp and he steals it away. Oh my god. They lose another hero, Gran Paquete is eliminated, and that's 5 kills against 0. Team Liquid is absolutely getting demolished right now. They are losing way too many heroes, and it was from the beginning obvious that in the early game NaVi would have the better composition, but Team Liquid, they are losing so many heroes that they might not even see that late game. So at this point we have also on level 7 Lunar Blaze taken, there's Enduring Growth, we have Piercing Bolt, we have of course Battle Momentum now too, and Battle Momentum plus Retaliation is really a composition in talents that gets more and more popular when we're talking about this map in particular. It's just amazing how much siege damage you can get out of it, especially if later on level 16 you go for Blessed Hammer. If you can afford to do it, then you are in a great position here. And currently NaVi is really dictating the pace of the game here. They are playing a very nice roaming squad on the map right now, and they go the entire time just like from one lane to another, catch out targets, a bit of counter aggression now down to the bot lane with not only the siege giants that come into play against the web weavers, but also the rest of the team now moving up to the top. NaVi has level 10, and that's amazing for them. The web weavers are going to buy some time for Team Liquid, but even with the web weavers, they are the ones under pressure. They have to make sure that they get experience and that they do not fall into that trap of, yeah, losing heroes now, falling even farther behind in experience. It's already a big setback for them that they don't have the heroic abilities, where we have the Blessed Shield now taken. Phoenix has of course also been used. Tranquility, Starfall and Avatar are the talents that NaVi is relying upon right now. Level 10, still a bit of wave for Team Liquid, and NaVi is completely exploiting that advantage that they have. Already Cleanse used to keep Black Scorp alive there. Job well done by Gran Paquete, making sure that nobody can really lock him down. Falcon, on the other hand, is again rushing away up to the top here and is able to make it happen. Nice, I like that. Very cool move, but oh no, are they really going to lose Lucifron? They're not. Okay, Lucifron survives for now. Level 10 is still not ready, but they really need to keep these bad boys alive at this point. If they lose even more heroes, then I don't think they're going to be able to make it into the late game. The red web weavers are now descending. Oh my god, Lucifron, does he have the cooldown? Oh my god, last second. Lucifron again! He's still being chased, and eventually they get him. And he had quite a few gems, of course, too. Level 10 is about to hit for Team Liquid, and then they really have to start and make a bit of a comeback here. The problem is that the first thing they have to do is defeat the web weavers. They have now the, well, they have actually Reyna's Raiders for the single target damage taken. There's Divine Shield, Locust Swarm, Water Elemental and Syndragosa. They're going up against the web weavers right now, but yeah, it's very likely that they're going to lose at least one more fort here. And are they going to lose Falcon? Divine Shield keeps him alive, as does his heroic. And of course his trade. Once again, Syndragosa coming in. Black Scorp moving in from behind. They're trying to get a kill here. It's the same talents now for them. Black Scorp is again eliminated. And NaVi is just playing an amazing game. Eternal already jumping away. Alex, the Pro G, is getting taken, pushed back. But for now, at least, that mid fort is still alive. The Blessed Shield misses, but again, the attempted kill against the Nubarak, and they get that. Level 12, nearly 13 against level 10. And right now, that combo is working out extremely well for NaVi. Kudos to them. They play this perfectly. Couldn't be played any better than that. They move from lane to lane, they get their kills in, and, well, Team Liquid is just playing a bit too far out. It's difficult against such a composition, of course. If you just move out just once, one step is all that is needed to end up in one of these stun locks, and then your opponent is going to get that kill in. They had some really nice escapes here as well, but at this point that's a 2.5 level lead currently for NaVi, and they are, yeah, they're doing whatever they can to just never let it go. They have also now the Chain Bomb, which is of course going to put even more pressure into their hands. We have them with Burning Rage, there's Hold Your Ground, Overflowing Light, and a full heal build on the side of Malfurion. With them being the aggressors in the game, they have no trouble whatsoever to just make sure Malfurion is getting as much heal out as humanly possible there. They don't really need any of these other talents. Ice Block on Malfurion, why would you go for that? They are the team that tries to initiate every single battle that we've seen so far. There's absolutely nothing else that they need to do here. Again, Alex just going from one condemn into another. Just look how fast he has that cooldown ready again, thanks to retaliation and of course also battle momentum in itself. The red web weaver is descending again, and that is a 3-level lead that we are seeing at this point. TeamLiquid is having a super tough time. They lost too many heroes in the early game, and they fell too fast, too far behind in EXP, and Alex and his boys, they are playing just an absolutely incredible match here. Eternal already on the move at the bot lane. Schwimpy, Splendor and the rest of the team are now starting to threaten the keep already, and that's not the only keep that is in trouble. We already have the Phoenix being used here. The Web Weaver comes in. Both of the towers are about to be dead, and yet there's a potential keep that is going to fall here. Web Weaver in the mid lane is defeated. The one at the top lane is going to fall any second, but so does the keep down here. TeamLiquid, they are on the ropes. This is NaVi moving in with perfect precision, and I am a huge fan of how they're currently playing this composition. This is close to perfect what they're doing, and they're not doing it to some kind of like backwater noob team that has no idea what they're doing. They're doing it against TeamLiquid, that is phenomenal. Great play by them thus far. If TeamLiquid can somehow hold on and get into that late game, they have a chance of turning things around, of course, but right now it doesn't really look like it. We will have level 16 potentially faster for NaVi than TeamLiquid has level 13, and right now NaVi can do whatever they want on the map, and they want the boss. They want to go for the throw pit, and they want to take it there, and there is very little that TeamLiquid has in their repertoire that they can use to take this on. They don't even have that talent. The level 16 is going to be in play in just a second, and I mean, just look at how fast that boss is dying. Who's going to jump in there and try and take it down? I don't see anybody that has the chance of doing that. And Uberak is welcome to move in. They're even waiting with the boss. They're waiting with it. Shrimpy is going to try and take it in the last second. But there they are, starting to move in once again. Eternal! Oh, they're trying to go for Nubarak. He moves away with a quick burrow charge. But that's the death of Lucifron once again. Even Syndragosa is not stopping them there. Level 16 talents now with Ranger, Hardened Focus. There it is, the Blessed Hammer. Perfect talents on the side of Alex to dish out as much damage as he can. Not only siege damage, but also the potential hero damage here. They are 3 levels ahead right now. Just look at that siege damage on the side of Johanna. 88,000 already, and he just got access to the Blessed Hammer. Of course, Kel'Thas is even higher than that. He's at 107,000 damage against siege now. And we're seeing them dropping keep number 2. TeamLiquid is not only in trouble, they are in a world of pain. They are 4 levels behind. They are getting completely wrecked here. This is just a masterful stomp and a great play on the side of NaVi. This is really one of those compositions, I guess, that really needs a very, very skilled players and great team coordination to be that successful. TeamLiquid at the beginning of the game maybe overextended a bit and moved too far out. They started off pretty solid there until level 4, when they started to lose way too many heroes and fall behind. And the problem that you have on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen is, if your opponent hits level 10, and you are at roughly level 8 or between level 8 and level 9, it's extremely difficult for you to get back into the game, because your opponent will be able to dominate the middle of the map, dominate the 2 turn-in points, and should be able to turn in at least twice in a row, and with the level 10 then also drop a few of your structures, which makes it nearly impossible for you to get the experience that you need to come back into the game. We can already tell that this is exactly what happened by the structures that we're seeing on the side of NaVi. They didn't lose anything. I mean, at the top lane they lost the tower, but that's it. Nothing else was taken out. Well, they already claimed 2 of the keeps. So this is one of the maps where you have to be super careful until level 10, or you're going to fall far behind. On all the other maps, it is also, of course, a big deal, but it's not as bad as on this one. And here's another big fight with the opportunity for maybe TeamLiquid to turn it around, but they need to fight against a talent advantage for NaVi, and they're not going to make that happen. 3 heroes dead, Grand Paquette now dying as well, and this is going to be game. And NaVi with an amazing battle here. Really well done. Congratulations and kudos. That was incredibly well played on their part. 14 kills against 0, and what a stomp. They make the Tyrande comp work, and that was something. That was really, really cool to observe. So yeah, congratulations to NaVi, and I guess we're going to see game number 3 now coming up. I'm excited. This is going to be a good one. The final map between between NaVi and TeamLiquid coming up next at the end of the storm. Boy, that didn't work out for TeamLiquid. NaVi completely crushed them. The combo that they played here, it is like they are probably one of the best teams out there right now to execute this particular style, and they do it so well. They sniped Liquid at the beginning. For the first 4 level, it actually didn't look too bad. There were a couple of attempts of NaVi to lock down heroes from TeamLiquid. They weren't successful, but then all of a sudden, bam, 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 one kill after another. NaVi just like getting their kill count high, getting far ahead in experience. They hit level 10, they dominate the turn-in points, they get the Web Weavers turn in a couple of times, and at this point, well, Tomb of the Spider Queen just snowballs against TeamLiquid. They move out of position with the hero just once, and that's immediately in stun of either Muradin or Tyrande. Very, very well played here. NaVi therefore tying the series, and we are going into game number 3 next. So a pretty incredible setup that we are seeing at this point. And well, again we see Reyna, who so far, by the way, has not been successful in this series at least. This time he's on the side of NaVi, so let's hope that this is not any indication of what's going to happen here. The map is, in this case, again, Shire. So it's going to be a pretty fun map here. Right now, both of the teams are tied, and they are only 1 map win away from advancing to face their next opponent, Roccat. But at the same time, of course, the team that loses here is out of the tournament. We had a pretty incredible series right now, and I am very, very curious to see what exactly is going to happen in the next series where TeamLiquid and NaVi have their little showdown on Shire. Game number 3 takes place on Shire, and we have very, very cool lineups for the 2 teams here. NaVi and TeamLiquid, they are fighting for their chance to stay in the loser bracket here. The loser of this map is out of the tournament here at the end of the storm. To the left side of the map, we have Zagara, played by Vortex, Lucifron on Muradin, Gran Paquete on Rega. We have Falcon on Ozebo and Black Scorp on Leoric. To the right side of the map, Eternal playing Jaina. We have Alex the Pro G for NaVi on Arthas, JPL on Reyna, Splendor on Uther, and Shrimpy playing Johanna. And the setup here is actually quite nice. First of all, of course, we're having for TeamLiquid in this case Zagara together with Nazebo, who is kind of likely to go into Ravenous Spirit here, which is absolutely cool that we see the ultimate, again, the heroic ability, since it was a bit buffed in the last few patches, so that's pretty nice. It's also the setup in general that is pretty interesting here, because we saw as the last pick on the side of NaVi, Arthas, and they had the choice to either go Arthas or Nubarak. And there's a couple of things, a couple of advantages and disadvantages to both picks. They decided to go into Arthas, and that should help them. Oh, lockdown already. Wow, Leoric is in trouble. The shield glare just doesn't do enough damage to drop him out. But as I was about to say, Arthas is a bit better to keep Reyna alive. Like every time that we have some heroes trying to go deep, he can use Frozen Tempest, he can use a Howling Blast to really lock a target down. He has a lot of self-sustain, a lot more than a Nubarak has, so he can stay easily alive thanks to Death Coil, Rune Tap, the Army of the Dead that he can take here. So there's a lot of options to really function as a really tough tank that the opponent is going to have a tough time to go through together with Johanna. The disadvantage that you have when you go into Arthas over Nubarak is that you do not have Cocoon available to interrupt the Ravenous Spirit. So they have to really be very careful where they fight. Nice lockdown against Nazebo, or they can just simply kill him out early on. That of course works as well. But yeah, in the fight later on, they really have to make sure that their positioning is absolutely top notch. Once that Ravenous Spirit is deployed, they should try to move back, or at least not fight in the Ravenous Spirit. Get maybe somebody close enough to stun him out either way. It's not like they're lacking stuns. They have a stun on Uther, they have also Condemn, they can use a Blessed Shield. There's the Q with a penetrating round for Reyna that they could use. The problem with all of these abilities is that you have to be rather close to Nazebo if you really want to use it. Arthas then again has a few advantages on only keeping Reyna alive. For example, the Frozen Tempest does a great job when you try to take down Zagara's creep tumors and have vision on the map. So both of the heroes were absolutely viable. They decided to go for the Lich King, and I actually like that choice quite a bit. So it's going to be a fun game between the two of them. We're having also more as a potential setup for the Ravenous Spirit, which can also be great. Black Scorp moving away, but Eternal is not able to get enough damage in just yet. So in this case, we're having with the talents on level 4 already Arcane Intellect taken for Jaina. Leoric dying after all. Wow, not quite sure what Black Scorp was doing there, but we have 2 of the heroes for NaVi in the mid lane still, making sure that nobody of TeamLiquid is moving over to take those. The shrines are still in their hands though. Reverberation build with Thunderclap everywhere. 4 from Muradin, and he just jumps out of the wall of zombies. In the mid lane, it's still that fight between Johanna and Blackscope. It's actually like a very, very popular battle that we have between the two heroes, and usually it's Leoric who gets the better end of it, thanks to his Drain Hold that he can use. Shrimpy has no escape. If you play against Muradin, for example, he just simply hops and is out of it, but in this case, the only thing that you can activate is your Iron Skin. Alex the Pro G already at the top lane, securing themselves one shrine. We have at the bottom lane Uther versus Vortex. It's not really the best setup for Splendor here, going up against the Zagara, as Uther is very annoying and usually hurts quite a bit. So we are probably going to see some Navi heroes rotate over to the bot lane a couple of times, because they need to help Uther out here. He's very much alone here, and you can hear his cries for help throughout the entire game screen. Splendor is pushing that back for now though, and Zagara, Vortex is playing the safe because he doesn't know where Jaina is. He knows that Jaina is somewhere, and he's of course assuming that she's in one of these bushes, in this one, since there's a creep tumor right there. So he wants to play this safe. We have, by the way, also again this retaliation build taken for Johanna, so it's all about that damage with Blessed Shield later. And wow, Zagara here, no chance. He was trying to get away for a second, but as you can already tell, Zagara is dead, so job well done. Blackscope is moving over to get a potential kill against Johanna, which is not going to happen, but he can at least take the experience here. It's a faster level 7 now for Navi again. And Navi lost game number 1. TeamLiquid was in the lead. They were in the lead, but now they took the game on to the Spider Queen, and now they find themselves also in a slight lead in experience here in game number 2. So far, TeamLiquid is having a bit of trouble there. The Toad build for Nazeebo going into the Toad Affinity on level 7, with Muradin emphasizing the Thunderclap and Reverberation even more thanks to his battle momentum on level 7, so that he gets the additional hits in. We're seeing also battle momentum, of course, for Johanna. If you go into retaliation, the whole idea is just to get out as many of your condemns as you possibly can, and you give up amplified healing or potential loss of hope on that thing. But if you are safe on Johanna, you can actually do that and get a bit more damage out there. Lingering Apparition taken after Hardened Bones for Leoric. Pretty much the standard build for this map in particular. It allows you to stay on lane for ages and of course escape most of the dangerous positions that you could find yourself in. Alex the Pro G already waiting, locking down Vortex, and thanks to the destruction talent, he's getting quite a bit of damage in. Frostmourne, his trade, is of course delivering more damage to Vortex here with those hits. And so far, both of the teams really just aiming for the first Dragonite in the game. Nobody was really able to get one yet, and the Shrine control was pretty solid for TeamLiquid earlier, but they weren't able to get the first Dragonite, and now they're at least taking the wall up here. And that's the problem if you are just leaving these boys alone for a second or two. JPL, the only one who was trying to force them back. In this case, Luciphone actually has to jump. There could be the Blizzard. Where's the slow? Shrimpy is not able to get the damage in there or lock somebody down with the Condemn, and we saw Eternal thinking about dropping that Blizzard, but they was a bit too far out, and they were thinking about actually catching the Zebo, but that didn't happen. In the mid lane, we have still Blackscope and Shrimpy playing against each other. It's going to be an earlier level 10 for Navi. Again, the Drain Hope used, top shrine taken by Eternal, so it's currently a 3 versus 3 that we're seeing up here. Down to the bot lane, Zagara is still doing her thing, and interestingly enough, Vortex has not really been able to drop these two towers. With the rotations of Navi always threatening Zagara, Vortex had to move back. The level 10 that we're seeing now in play though for Team Navi is going to help them a lot. Already at the top lane, Hyperion being used. JPL is trying to get some additional damage in, and he will deliver a lot of damage to those structures actually. So once again, great. You had one job, Hyperion, one job. That was to eliminate the tower. What do? You kill the wall. I mean, are you serious? Are you kidding me? So they took down the dangerous wall over here. We have Blessed Shield, Water Elemental, Army of the Dead, and Divine Shield taken as the talents. TeamLiquid grabs the shrine at the top lane and denies another Dragonite to Navi, as we see their own heroic abilities coming to play. As expected, it is the Ravenous Spirit, March of the Black King, Ancestral Healing, Avatar, and more. But yeah, that fail Hyperion there. That thing should really prioritize towers, right? I mean, seriously, moves in there and things, and like Matt Horner is like he's at the steering wheel of the Hyperion, he's on the bridge and he's like, alright boys, let's take out that wall. And yeah, I can't really believe that actually did happen. But as is, we have now with those abilities in play, also of course now the players, well, resuming in this case, that is cool, 34,000 siege damage already on the side of Johanna. And that's one of the things that we've been talking about. If you go for retaliation, you can just drop every single wave that you want to take out. We have Leoric on a very similar account when it comes to the siege damage. He's currently on 40,000 here. That skeleton swing, of course, makes it possible. NaVi has both of the shrines again, but there's still the vigilant Leoric in the mid lane, played by Blackscorp, making sure that nobody moves in to capture this one out. Vortex down here is also in a situation where he can just simply make sure that TeamLiquid at least holds one shrine. So he's doing exactly that. Splendor alone is not going to be able to do too much. But I have to give Uther some credit. I mean, there's of course always Vortex with that threat that somebody's rotating in from above and takes him out. This is why he plays it rather passive. But Splendor has been able to push him back for now, so at least that wall is still intact. And that's exactly that rotation that we've been talking about. They go straight into a rotation with Jaina, again to the bot lane to potentially take down Zagara. The top lane, on the other hand, has been taken out here. So, yeah, Lucifron already there, Grand Paquete as well. They're trying to drop the last tower, and they are still trailing slightly behind in experience. It's not really a big deal, but it is a bit annoying that you hit that talent always later than your opponent. 0 kills against 3 kills, and there's another attempt to make that 4, with Shrimpy and Eternal already waiting for a chance to just move through the bush, take them out. Could see roaches being dropped there, because at this point they must have communicated already that those heroes are missing on the map, and with them not... Alright, so Blackscorp is just standing there and he's trying to move in. Now they could try to go for a kill against Leoric, I suppose, but Alex is now here too. 4 heroes, and they are moving to the top. Lucifron is moving in for a second, but yeah, all of the players are going to get away. This is a very, very careful game by both of these teams, and can you blame them? It's the last map in the best of 3 series. The series is tied, and here we go again. The potential for TeamLiquid to maybe win a fight here. They are in a 5 versus 4 situation. Reyna is up at the top lane, and he took now the shrine, so at least down here to the bot lane they have to make something happen. TeamLiquid has to capture one of them, but they move into the mid lane instead to make sure that nobody is at the dragon statue to steal it away. Now, level 13 talents are giving NaVi again a lead, and that's exactly what I've been mentioning earlier. It's just a slight lead in experience, but it is a lead that is important. Biting Cold on level 13 now for Arthurs. We're seeing them with Hold Your Ground on Johanna. On top of all of that, it's of course Giant Killer for Reyna, who's going to get even more damage out over time now. We didn't really see a solid team fight between the two teams yet, but we now have also the Toads of Hugeness taken. We have Burning Rage, and in this case now Thunderstrike, Healing Surge, and Mutalisk as the talents. Blackscorp in the mid lane is starting to lock Alex down, and that's the rest of the team. Zagara at the bot lane is dying, but it looks like Alex is not going to make it here either. So it's a kill for a kill, a 4 versus 4 situation in the game now, and at the bot lane, an attempt to steal the shrine away. That's the chance that Reyna needs to move up to the top and make sure that he is stealing this one out. So both of the teams still waiting for the first Dragonite. We're 10 minutes into the game and we don't have a Dragonite yet. Whoa, that Ravenous Spirits didn't do anything. Falcon too close to Johanna. The Condemned taking her out, and now they're getting pushed away once again. Both of the shrines under the control of NaVi, but they cannot rotate into the mid lane to grab the Dragonite. We are in 10 minutes and 30 seconds in the game without a Dragonite just yet. Both of the teams playing this really close. Grand Paquete and Blackscorp in position up at the top lane. Very safe play from JPL thus far. He's playing this very, very slow, and again TeamLiquid is moving in. But down here we have Alex trying to get the Dragonite. He can't really take it. Blackscorp is already there. And down to the bot lane we have Zagara now in position together with Lucifron. But they're going straight for Zagara. The Maw not hitting anything. Shrimpy actually still staying. He needs to go back and make sure that he heals up again, and he's doing exactly that. Both of the teams with such careful play right now, and still that slight lead in experience that we are seeing for Team NaVi. A few of their rogue abilities in cooldown. 1 kill could determine which team gets the first Dragonite in the game. Up at the top, a bit of pressure already against the fort, but JPL is still there. And JPL has currently 23 season marksman stacks. That's actually pretty decent 11 minutes into the game, considering that he was not once part of any kind of rotation. He was just staying up at the top lane the entire match. Normally you see Reyna even rotate between mid and bot lane, if you can of course, but he was needed up at the top thanks to the tri-lane that TeamLiquid set up there. Now both of the teams are aiming for level 16, and we still didn't see a Dragon Knight here yet. Vortex down to the bot lane, controlling the shrine even more. Splendor is there. Black Scarp is also moving in. They want to push that wall in finally. If they can take down the well, for example, that would really help them to gain control over the shrine for even longer. Up to the top lane, Lucifer currently. Yeah, there comes the Hyperion again. Lucifer jumps away, but the water elemental is slowing him down. He has no escape, and boom! To your face. Down he goes, and now Muradin is dead, and Falcon is having a tough time escaping here. Yep, Frozen Tempest used, and Falcon gets taken out. Reyna for a second, it looked like JPL would even help him to escape here, pushing him away, but they got the kill, and this should be Dragon Knight. The fort up here is going to fall eventually, and right now they are also having the level 16 talent, with Reyna going straight into Executioner again. Executioner now for the extra damage, especially of course with Arthas delivering the Frozen Tempest. But TeamLiquid has their own level 16 talent now too, and we still don't see a Dragon Knight. Uther's finally moving into the bot lane and trying to capture this one, but Vortex is there, pushing him back for now. Arthas on the way, trying to make sure that they get at least now the Dragon Knight, the first one of the game. 12 minutes in, 13 minutes in, but Black Scorp is attacking Eternal. Gran Paquete is currently rushing away here. He's only on half HP, but they are still going for the fight in the mid lane. We have Rhaegar moving up again, and Schwimpy gets stunned out. We are 13 minutes into the game, and we still have not seen a Dragon Knight. Lucifer moving in, Alex the Pro G trying to zone a bit, but he gets locked down, and he's taken out. The heal too late, an attempt to take down Black Scorp as well, but JPL cannot deliver the damage just yet. Tidal Waves taken on 16. We have also renewed swing at the bot lane. Still Vortex in position. He's going to go straight for that shrine, or can he? We have a 5 versus 4 for the Spanish team, and that might be the opportunity that they've been waiting for. They already go up to the top lane with Lucifer, and in the mid lane, 2 of the heroes are ready. Falcon, he's getting zoned. Schwimpy, yes, there comes the quick attempt to move in, and once more also the heroic ability on Reyna. Hyperion making sure that Falcon has no chance of taking that statue just yet. But now, again, the attempt, and he goes in for the channel. There's nobody to do anything about it. And 14 minutes in, Falcon with the first Dragon Knight in the game. They're starting to move to the bot lane right now, where the wall is nearly taken out. Only one tower remains, and that one without ammunition. That experience lead that we saw for NaVi throughout the entire game is about to be negated. The wall hammered into the ground, the well about to drop, and this is going to be another fort in favor of TeamLiquid. The Spaniards are moving in at the bot lane. 2 kills against 6 on the game so far. Falcon with the first structure killed here, and they're starting to rotate over. Once again, they want to get the most out of this Dragon Knight, of course. They're still on even footing when it comes to the experience here, but another fort is about to fall, and TeamLiquid for the first time in this game are taking the lead in experience. There they are already. Falcon is punting the back. Black Scorp getting healed on his Leoric. JPL is coming back in. He's of course the big hope for his team in the later stages of the game. The longer the game lasts, the better JPL is going to be able to dish out the damage thanks to Seasoned Marksman. And after the second fort has been eliminated, they're moving up to the top lane now to take the third one down as well. But there's already Arthas. Arthas getting punted away way into the back. He's suddenly in trouble. Water Elemental also used there, trying to go for a bit of counter aggression. Army of the Dead is keeping Alex alive on Arthas. The Lich King is moving in once more, and Falcon is dropping out of the Dragon Knight. Is way up at the front. Gets stunned out. Nasibo in trouble. Gets locked down here with a Howling Blast, but a Great Maw is saving him for now. Nice disengage here from TeamLiquid. They were not able to kill the keep up or the fort up at the top lane just yet, but they are getting close thanks to that minion wave moving in as well. Solid play right now. That Dragon Knight really changed the pace of the game. They were able to take down 2 of the forts, and currently, as you can see, not a single one has been eliminated by NaVi. Top lane, yeah, close, but still all the other lanes still have their towers as well, and at this point level 18, nearly level 19 for both of the teams. Mercenary camps, that's of course what they are aiming for right now. Taking another look at the Seasoned Marksman stacks for JPL, we have him at 32 already, a pretty solid amount in this game, and he's of course still trying to increase that as much as possible, roaming from lane to lane and also participating in a few of the takedowns. Blizzard buffed Season Marksman. If you participate in a takedown as a hero, you get now 2, like before the change, you only got 2 minion stacks. Now you get 3 minion stacks, and every 6 minion stacks you get 1 additional damage point on your hero. So if you participate in a lot of fights, then you finally also can get a bit more value out of Season Marksman, and it's one of the things that really helps them here as well. 6 kills against 2 in the game thus far, and now the camps are of course just being taken out. At the top lane, Blackscorp making sure that that camp that NaVi took earlier is not going to eliminate the fort, but that leaves them with 4 heroes on the rest of the map. TeamLiquid has a slight lead in experience, and that should drop level 20 into their hands a bit faster, but with a drop against 1 or 2 structures down here, they should get that talent now as well. Level 20 brings us with a blink on Zagara and 2 rewinds, one on Muradin and the other one on Rhaegar. Pretty decent position for them. Annihilating Spirit has been used. No level 20 for NaVi yet. NaVi on the run. The Spiders dropping Splendor off his mount, and they are moving away just as level 20 drops now for them too. Leoric already on his way up to the top lane. The bot Shrine, of course, going to end up in the hands of TeamLiquid. There it is. Nexus Frenzy for Reyna. Now let the fun begin. That's what JPL is thinking. They have Hardened Shield on Arthurs, and they're rotating. They know already what's happening in the mid lane here. They want to make sure there's no additional Dragonite for them. Redemption has been used now too. Blink, Bolt of the Storm for Jaina. What about... yeah, Johanna goes straight into Indestructible. No Storm Shield for her in this case. And they are starting to move in. That fight is exactly what they need to win right now. If TeamLiquid wins this battle, then they can go for the first keep, of course. Once again, they're starting to move in. Lucifron is there. Falcon, Vortex, Grand Paquette, the Blackscorp. Everybody is just rotating. As we see Eternal moving up to the top lane. They need to stun out Lucifron. Shield Clear makes it happen. And now they have to move away. They have to run. The French defense in this point, they're moving away now, and Jaina up at the top lane is of course also in a bit of trouble. Blackscorp already rotated over. Stormbolt! Whoa, nice ice block and great use of the water elemental. And there comes the Divine Shield to save for now Jaina, and they are turning things around. Great play here by NaVi, but can they still make it? The Annihilating Spirit is already rushing in. We have Johanna attempting to help the rest of the team out with a quick condemn, and they are now retreating. Very, very cool disengage for NaVi. That was close. It was very close. An amazing play by Eternal. He was in so much trouble after he already used Blink, but he kept himself alive long enough for Uther to move in with the Divine Shield. Now the Hyperion is being used. Lucifron! Oh my god, that was close. He nearly got the second Dragonite. We are 20 versus 20 in talents. 19 minutes into the game. Down to the bot lane. Eternal again with the Shrine, and he gets it. He needs to move away now though. He's waiting for that Stormbolt. He's waiting for it. And there it is being used. Can he get away? He's not even using the storm, the Ball of the Storm. He's still in cooldown apparently. We're seeing JPL moving in, and the lockdown against Rhaegar, and goodbye healer. No support anymore for TeamLiquid, but in the back line, Eternal is in trouble. Lucifron, on the other hand, is not looking too good either. Leoric already dead, and now they're going straight for Muradin. Alex the Pro G is starting to move in. JPL is there as well, but he's getting rather low. Oh, again the jump on Lucifron, but I don't think he can escape. There are too many opponents, and bam, a triple kill. 9 kills against 2. NaVi finds himself in a great position here. We have by now Season Marksman stacks up at 42 for JPL, and it also shows when you look at the damage here overall. Reyna currently with 61,000 hero damage, the top damage dealer in the game. Great play by NaVi, and they are doing everything right now. The first Dragonite for them 20 minutes into the game. They have not taken a single fort. Not even one. But that Dragonite, that thing is super strong. That thing picks up cars and trucks alike and just slams them into the buildings, drops the fort with them, and that's exactly what's happened. It's the Godzilla of Heroes of the Storm that we're seeing here. Once again, the Dragonite moving in, and just look at that damage that we are seeing. Oh my god. They're going through the keep in the mid lane, or they want to go for the keep, and here comes the Hyperion again, and Shrimpy is already on the way. Bam, bam, one hit after another, going straight for that keep. It won't be able to drop the core just yet. The Dragonite is losing too much hit points already, but with another kill, they would still be in an amazing position here. So far, it's not happening, but you can really tell how much damage, especially JPL is now pushing out thanks to that Nexus Frenzy. As long as they can keep him alive, he's going to be in a great spot. They're moving back for now. For now, it's all about just retreating. Great dodge here by Shrimpy. NaVi's playing an amazing game here. TeamLiquid, they had the first Dragonite and they got a slight lead, but right now it's all about NaVi. They are doing the job here. And at this point, of course, the big question is who's going to take it here? Who will be able to get the next Dragonite? The advantage advantage goes to Navi for sure at this point. They have the mid lane taken out, and with this keep gone, this lane is continuously going to push against Team Liquid. The Spaniards are a bit low here. Camps taken everywhere on the map, to the left side, to the right side. Bruiser camps by both of the teams, and now the Siege Giant camps are up next. Alex can move down with the rest of the team to drop these 2 Siege Giants here, but this is still extremely solid play here from both of them. It also means, though, that a single kill on a team can decide the game. The next Dragon Knight has the power to decide the game either way. Yes, Navi has a lead. They took that keep already, but believe me, 22, 23, 24 minutes into the game, if Team Liquid gets another Dragon Knight, they can just walk through this area and drop everything with 1-2 hits of that Battle Axe on the Dragon Knight quite easily. So we currently see at the bot lane, again, Navi pushing in. They're trying to get even more experience by dropping the structures that are remaining, and they have a double mercenary camp helping them out with that. They are relying on the Siege Giants and on the Mercenary. Falcon leaving the game in an immediate pause. This game is sick right now. This is absolutely crazy. Let's look at the numbers here once again. We currently have 67,000 hero damage on Reyna. We're having 58,000 on Jaina. 74,000, by the way, on Zagara. She has even more than Reyna at this point, thanks to the double hunter killer. Getting a huge amount of damage out here in this game. When it comes to the, when it comes to siege damage, then it's a completely different story. That's where we have Johanna and also Leoric, as expected, up at the top with 177,000 damage and 155,000. Very, very solid performance here by them. Currently, only Arthur's dying on the side of Navi, by the way. Everybody else has not died once yet. They're starting to set up another trap here. Is Navi gonna move in? They have the opportunity to lock down Lucifer. They're not going for it just yet. They're trying to, though. And the Dragon Knight, of course, is up again. The shrines can be taken. Top lane is being pushed. Black Scop is already there. And here comes JP. Look at that damage. I mean, you can see how he is just destroying the tanks right now. He's completely destroying the tank line. With Nexus Frenzy and all that auto damage, he is just a monster. JPL at this point is the biggest problem that Team Liquid has to face here. And it is so difficult for them to get to him. Going through Arthur's, going through Johanna, trying to take Reyna down, that is a massive, massive job now, and I am not quite sure if they can really pull that off, but they will try. Once again, Alex trying to get the shrine down here. He's already getting engaged upon. They have to go for the heroic ability now. Here comes the Annihilating Spirit. Divine Shield already used, and at the same time, the Blessed Shield is stunning out. Falcon on the Zebo. They're moving in again. A great Maw against 3 heroes. Alex is so low, trying to keep himself alive. And for now, it looks like Splendor is going to die, but he heals himself once again. Schwimpy already with his own shield blocking. Leoric is dead, but so is Johanna. Leoric is not going to come back for a few more seconds, but Uther at least is going to make that revive work. So him with Redemption, he's still in play, and that puts us into a 4 versus 4. It would have been absolutely devastating for them if 2 heroes would have died. That would have given the Dragon Knights Team Liquid. But again, there's Black Scop. Black Scop is going to be back in just a bit. They need to wait a bit longer. I don't think that they can really fight for the shrine here at the bot lane unless somebody rotates to the top, and it is in this case Eternal again on his Jaina that says, guys, I got this. I'm going to take the shrine at least for now. You stay calm, you stay at the bot lane, and we're going to have this lockdown. 10 kills against 4 in the game right now. To the top lane. Eternal is there, but so is Lucifron. Stormbolt already applied, and Eternal is just walking away from this one. The rotation to the bot lane to capture the shrine, but look at that. We have Eternal there. Does he have the Bolt of the Storm? Eternal, he's bolting away, but here comes the Wraith Dwarf. Black Scop is trying to block him, and already the Stas is used, but the kill against Jaina, and this is bad news. This is extremely bad news for Navi. This couldn't be worse at this point. Again, they're trying to take a couple of camps. We have 48 stacks now on the side of Reyna. On this map, that is extremely solid, but 25 minutes in, of course, you don't really have too much time going from lane to lane to even get more. The Dragon Knight has been stolen away now, and they have to somehow defend against this one. Burst him down, maybe with Reyna, but they have still 1 hero missing. It's one of their main damage dealers, and here comes that push that Liquid wants to try and use to maybe even end the game. They go through that wall like it is made of paper. They just take down both of the towers. Here comes the Hyperion already. They cannot lose another hero. They cannot lose another hero. They need to buy time. Buy time for Jaina. Buy time so that the Dragonite is going to be eliminated. Once again, we have already Shrink Ray used, and that keep is gone. Shrimpy starting to move into the backline, and the Dragonite is already moving for the core. There's already Black Scorp, and JPL is just going for Lucifer as much as he can. Na'Vi played such a great game, but that Dragonite is about to hammer down the core. Na'Vi is about to be eliminated from the end of the storm. Team Liquid, they take the game and advance to the next round of the tournament to face Team Roccat. They take down Na'Vi with a 2-1 victory. And Team Liquid, they do it again. They win this series and advance to face Roccat in the next round. Their setup here with Leoric, with Muradin, Zagara, and also Nazeebo was successful. And that means that the big loser of this game is actually Reynor. He lost every single time. Like, the team that played him lost just every match. Of course, the hero in itself is really good, don't get me wrong, guys. But there are definitely a couple of weaknesses around Reynor that are very, very easy to exploit once that you get ahead. And in this case right now, Team Liquid was able to do that, so they take the game. But to be fair, Na'Vi with a very strong performance here on this map. The problem for them was really the late game when all of a sudden they were not able to claim these Dragonites anymore. And Team Liquid, they were on the back foot for a long time in the match, but then they claimed this late game Dragonite that of course hits like a truck, like Godzilla, so he just moves in and takes down Keep in core, and Team Liquid is victorious. They advance to face Roccat in the next round. For Na'Vi, the journey is unfortunately at an end, so they drop out of the tournament here. Still pretty sick game that we see from the two teams here today. I hope that you actually enjoyed the video and the matches. Na'Vi versus Liquid, always a treat in my opinion, and this game or this series was pretty fun as well. If you like the commentary, then make sure that you hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. And guys, it was a pleasure casting for you today. We're going to see you next time with Liquid versus Roccat. And well, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed your day, and see you guys soon with more content here on the YouTube channel on KhaldorTV. Have a great day, and bye bye.